Hello, everybody out there in the land of make-believe. This is the holier-than-hell Reverend Bark Me Laughing Wolf, submortal cheerleader to the apocalypse and diabolical minute of good. This is the Magooch, and this is the Magooch Review. It's a 1,000-mile review, yeah. Okay, 1,673. I've been busy, but this is a 1,000-mile review. I was trying to get it out. I'm getting it out now. And those of you who aren't familiar with the Magooch, it is a Haro double peak trail bike, mountain bike with front suspension and 49-inch tires and little fat Franks on those. That's right. It has a BBSHD mid-drive motor and special got some special stuff on it. It also has a 20 amp hour battery, 20 point something, 20.3 triangle battery that I had special made for the Magooch, and then just a bunch of little stuff that I added onto it. Tell you all about it right now. The first thing I want to get to is I put about coming up on 1,700 miles, and all of those miles were done on a hilly terrain, very hilly terrain. Rode 40 miles a day, 5 days a week, and mostly sunshine, but plenty of rain. So it got wet. I was able to handle it in the rain, just like in the sunshine. So what I always want to know, first thing, and nobody ever says first thing, top speed. What's top speed? What's the top speed you get out of your BBSHD? And pedaling with a top assist level, which I've got the 9 levels assist with factory settings, and I'm not sure what they are. You have to check with the tech guys. Check with the tech guys what the factory settings are. Top level of assist, pedaling as hard as I can. On a flat, I can get somewhere around 24 to 28 miles an hour. Now, under certain circumstances, I can push that up into 32 miles an hour. I don't have a lot of flat terrain, so to find a spot where I'm going flat for a long enough period of time to do some decent testing has not been really. I haven't been able to do that, but that's about my range is about. Let's say my range is about 26 to 32 miles an hour, depending. I have pedaled up to 32 miles, max speed, pedaling. Now, with the throttle, I've throttled up to 36, 38 miles an hour. Again, depending on the terrain, the road, the wind, all kinds of factors. I think I get a little less power out of this bike because my tires are so... The radius of my tires is expanded. I think I get less power, but I'm not a physicist. Yeah, I got to talk to a physicist about that. I don't get it. I'm on the inertia, the whole thing. But I have gotten this bike up to... I've gotten the bike up to 46 miles an hour down a hill. I have gotten it. I've gotten it to maintain 38 to 42 miles an hour with the throttle alone. But what had to happen was I went down a hill, and at the bottom of the hill, it flattened out. But I had good speed. I popped the throttle in, and this is one of the neat things about this BBS HD mid-drive motor is the faster it spins, the faster it wants to spin. So if I got it up to 40 miles an hour, I get to the flat, I would usually peter out, if I didn't have a motor. But if I got the throttle going, I can maintain that 40 miles an hour for several blocks, which is great because there's a spot where I actually need to do that. It goes from 25 to 35. I'm right on the road. There's no sidewalk. There's no shoulder, and a lot of buses. So if I can beat the traffic I speed down the hill. If I can beat the traffic down the hill while they're going 25, when I hit that 35 mile an hour part, I can continue going, pretty much leave them in the dust. I got like 6 blocks I need to get to before I make a left-hand turn around a blind corner. So really it really helps me out to have this kind of agilities, because I can get down that hill, I can maintain speed, I can get to where I'm making a left-hand turn, and provided there isn't traffic coming from the other direction, I can get out of the main thoroughfare without people coming around that turn, seeing me, and then just getting mad. Because I live in a place called Renton, Washington, where apparently pedestrians and bicyclists don't have any rights whatsoever, according to the people who've been trying to run me over for the last couple of years. What I love about this, about the BBSHD going faster, if it's going faster, is it's so much more responsive to how much power I put into it. Maybe that sounds weird. Let me give you an example. When I was riding the hub, my last bike was a hub motor. I was like riding a horse. I got on it, it went. I kind of had to go along with whatever it wanted to do. It had functionality that I had no control over, and I just had to deal with it. It had one of those regenerative braking systems. So there's a lot of stuff that the wheel was doing that didn't have anything to do with my my agenda to get forward at a faster pace. So this bike, on the other hand, that bike was like a horse. This bike is like having a big dog on a leash, right? So you're walking your dog, you're walking your dog, and then you walk a little faster. But when you walk a little faster, dog gets excited, right? Dog double times walks a little faster, pull you go a little faster, it goes a little faster, you go a little faster. That is what this is like. If I pedal faster, the motor says, "Oh, we're going faster, boss," and it goes a little faster, and it likes it. It's responsive like that. Now, I don't believe that was the intention, but that's the result of the way this motor works, is that it's more responsive. When I put more oomph in, it gives me more power. And we work together like that. So that's great. I like that. I like it. I'll just say I like it. I like the speed. I like the throttle. I like the way the motor interacts. And I have not had any problems with the electronics yet. Please don't give me any. Please don't jinx me. Please don't jinx me. Please don't jinx me. I haven't had any electronic problems yet. I've had a couple issues, but they've all been with the geometry of the chain. And one issue I am having is with this sensor. So the battery, I'm having a hard time keeping, I'm going to get you in there. I have a hard time keeping this battery here, or this, magnet, in the right distance from this sensor, so that when I pull it, the motor shuts off. And that's been causing me all kinds of problems with my chain. I think it was stretching my chain out. My first chain blew, and it's a KMC. I think it's KSC, KMC. I don't know what the chain is. It's the good one. It's the guys who make the good chains. By the way, I'm dyslexic, so that kind of information you're not going to get from me. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll put it in the thing. You'll see. You'll see. I'll try to make it up to you. Okay. So I got this fancy chain, and the first one stretched out after about 1,300 miles. It was gone. It was toast. In that time, though, I switched from the 32-tooth chain to a 36-tooth chain. And that I think that caused some problems. I don't think that stretched it out. I think it was the battery, the brake sensor. What I was having constant problems with after I switched this out was on the 9th gear back here. It was jumping constantly. I was getting chain rips. So when the chain stretched out, I was getting massive chain rips. Got a new one. And I was getting little chain rips right away. So what we ended up having to do was, I had an 11-tooth ring on here before we switched up for a 12-tooth ring last week. And so far I haven't had no issues, except for that they didn't screw it on right. So when I got a couple blocks from the bike shop, it came apart and just was free spinning. I had to take it back. But they fixed it for me because they're good guys. So I have gone through a chain. I've actually gone through front brake pads, and that's because of this sensor problem. So I have a solution for that. I'm going to use this Surgu moldable glue. It's a silicone. It becomes kind of a real hardened rubber. It's kind of a silicone, but rubbery. It is silicone. It's a rubbery sort of hardened rubber silicone. And I'm going to mount the magnet on there with the silicone. Get it perfectly aligned, and then let that silicone harden it. It won't move. If there is an issue with it, I can, it's not too hard that I can't break it off and try again. But it hardens good. Once it's hardened, it'll stay in place unless I really want to move it. Battery. I've had no issues with the battery. The first charger came with it had some issues. I bought a second charger. I was supposed to send the first one back for a return, get a new charger, but yeah, I got real busy lately. I have not had a chance to do it. Luckily, the lady who makes the batteries is super cool, so hopefully she won't give me trouble if I try to send it back. I think it's been a couple of 3 months, but anyway. Lindsay, I might have to send that charger back still. Hey, Lindsay. I haven't had the opportunity. I'll get to it, though. So, what do we got here? We got the battery works fine. I don't have to review it because it's a battery and it works fine. Gets me, I'll tell you, if I'm in assist level 9 and I'm going up and down hills, it'll get me just about 40 miles. But, I mean, I am burning rubber. I'm hot dogging. If I have it in a lower assist level, let's say assist level 5 or 6, and I'm taking it easy, I'm not jamming on the throttle, I could probably get 70 or 80 miles out of it. I think I've gotten a full 60 out of it. I could probably get a little more, but I get antsy when I'm on the road, so I end up using that extra juice. So I have been charging at work. Charge at home, charge at work, just so I know I have plenty of juice that if I want to go screwing around after work, I don't have to worry about distance and power. And I think that's all for the bike. Fat Franks work great. I've got tire liners in there. I think Mr. Tuffy tire liners in there. They work great. Happy with both of those. Haven't had any problems. Except for they were installed wrong originally, and I got it flat. But that was a tube flat. Also in here, I have a thorn resistant tubes. These tubes in here are monsters, and my bike guys hate me because I made them rotate my tires. And this is a little tip I got from one of the videos. Is with these electric bikes, your rear tire is going to weigh out way quicker than your front tire. So instead of just replacing your rear tire all the time, when it starts to get a little worn, rotate them. So that's what I did. This was on my rear. Now it's in my front. I have had to switch out a brake pad because of the sensor. But otherwise, very little repair. Just the upgrade for this. And then because of that upgrade, the 36 tooth, I had to upgrade the up to a 12 tooth on my ninth ring. I wasn't having any problems with any of the other rings at all. This seems to work good, but sometimes when I hit a bump, when I hit a bump the right way, the motor will shut off for a second. I think that has to do with this sensor not being absolutely mounted the best. So I'm going to try to mount that a little better and see if that solves that problem. But this is the shift sensor, and it turns the motor off for a moment while you're shifting. So that's that. I did get some accessories, and I'll tell you a little bit about those now. But if all you want to know about the bike, that's all pretty much I'm going to tell you about the bike. If you have any questions about the bike that I didn't answer, down in the comments, and just go and say, hey, you dummy, why didn't you tell me about the thing with the thing? That's all I wanted to know about. You're wasting my time. I'm sorry, I've watched too many videos. I get upset. Accessories. I ended up with this Blackburn bag. It's a nice bag. It's for the battery expensive. Is it? Yeah, no, it really is. I originally bought a Ortlieb bag, but it didn't fit. It was way too big. Probably could have got a smaller one that might have fit, but when I had to order it, this was in the shop. This fit, works great. I'm sticking with it. Really happy with it, actually. Little funky trying to get my hands down. Everything's always a little funky. The wire's just long enough that I have to kind of get down in there and diddle with it, which is unfortunate. But it's good enough. Good enough. I'm not bending the wires too much so that I'm causing any stress. And that's the only thing I'm worried about. I can get my hands in there. Got this cute little lock, which I've used a couple times. This bike isn't as heavy as my old bike. My old bike, I just leave sit. I want to sit. I sit in a coffee shop and drink my coffee, wait for somebody to steal it because it'd be funny. It was so heavy. But this bike, I lock up the front tire if I'm going to be too far away from it, just so nobody can just snatch it and run away. This sucks. This is a little Timbuktu. It's all right, but it's still on here. If it really sucked, I would have taken it off. I just keep a pair of glasses in it. That's all. If you try to put anything else in it, it gets bunched up and comes open. It has pretty much stayed in place, which is what I was worried about. But yeah, it's popped open a couple times. If you don't have it really closed nice and proper, which you got to do, then you can catch on it and flip it open while you're riding. But that hasn't happened too much. Onward to my Ortlieb handlebar bag. This is great. At first I thought it wobbled a little too much, but I think they did that on purpose so that if it was in there solid and you hit something, instead of having a little give, it'd just break off. So I think that a lot of what kind of seemed like, oh, that doesn't seem right. It just seems soft. Like this plastic here is what holds it on, and it's got a lot of wiggle to it. But if it didn't, you hit something, that's going to snap off and ruin your $100-something thingamajob. So I don't mind that it wiggles, and it's not too distracting. If it wiggled anymore, it would drive me crazy because it'd be bouncing up and down. But this is just enough. I did have to tighten these wires pretty good. It's a really odd little setup, but it works well. I like it. It is waterproof. No water's gotten in here at all, and I've been through the rain. So, pretty cool. I put my phone in here, but I can't really see from the angle. I can't see it, so I put it in there. You know what? I stopped putting it in there because it was getting pretty hot out, so I don't want it right in the sun. Don't put anything in there right now. You're supposed to put maps in there, but who uses maps? Well, I put my Thomas guide in there. Okay, so, Orp horn. You know what? I have not charged this. Oh, looks like it needs a charge. I have not charged this Orp horn since I got it. And it looks like it needs a charge. I saw the little light flashing. But I haven't been using it as a light, only as a horn. But I'm surprised that it actually just held the charge for that long. Handlebars. Oh, these Modolo Dumbo 3D multi-position. These are great handlebars, man. Really great handlebars. They were slipping for a while, so I had to get into the stem here and file it down. I had to. My bike guys had to get in the stem here, file it down real good, just real gnarl it up so that I'd have something to grab on because it was sliding like crazy. Once they did that, though, solid in there. I like that. And you can change it to any position. You can have these handlebars in whatever position you could possibly imagine to a certain extent, but I don't know what extent that is because I can't imagine how they wouldn't work. Okay, so back here to my Ortlieb. Getting there. We're almost to the end, guys. My Ortlieb panniers. I like them. They're great. I like the Ortlieb panniers. They're great, and I like them. They're waterproof. Waterproof. They haven't leaked. They hold things, and they're great. There are other videos about these, and nobody said anything bad about them. That's because they're great. The panniers, that is. On the other hand, I got this Ortlieb trunk bag, right? And got the tubus rack for the Ortlieb trunk bag, and it's got a rail. It's got its own little rail system. It's got its own little clip-a-doodad here. You clip that, you push the thing in. It's a little lock. You push that in. This pops off, and it's supposed to be on there nice and solid. Now you see, it really isn't It really isn't very solid. Now, I've had this come off a few times. A few times enough now it's starting to make me mad. It also doesn't hold much. This is too much. I've got this jacket and this tube, this tire tube, and that's it in there, right? I can't roll it. I can't roll it up. First of all, you need two hands to roll it, right? You can't just roll it up with one hand. It can't be you can't deal with it one-handed at all. You have to roll it tight because it's only got one roll in it. Even if there's nothing in it, nothing at all, it's got a little kind of a stopper deal here. So, so if you try to roll it any further down than it wants to go, which is one roll, you can't. It just gets stretched out. So you get one roll. That means that the top is just right inside. Now, have I gotten any water in it? I have not gotten any water in it. It's been watertight, so I can't complain about that too much. But it's a real tight, and then it's just like that. You kind of got to hold it in place, and then you got to get your thing on there real quick. That's what you need both hands for. Now, if you don't have enough in it, it really doesn't want to, the Velcro here, which is just right here, does not want to stick to this, I'm sorry, hook and loop. Doesn't want to stick to this hook and loop, which is in a different direction, and a completely different configuration. So if there's nothing behind it to push into, it doesn't stick. See, it's not sticking. I got something in here. So I have to put some more in here if I want to be able to use it and close it and ride with it. So usually what I carry in here is my battery. So last time it came off, it flew and it got this rip in it, and it just came off while I was riding. Something happened. I jigged, the back end jerked. It had enough stuff in it to pop the thing off. Pop, and it came off, landed, and it got this tear in it. Now here there's a warranty on it, is what people keep telling me. So I'm gonna send it back, have them fix it, and then what? Sell it? Because I'm not going to continue to use this. I put my charger in here, and I cannot get my charger banged up. So I've been putting it in my pannier now. But I would like to have a good trunk bag, and I used to have a good trunk bag. My Bushwhacker makes a great trunk bag, and I am getting one of those and getting rid of this, which is too bad because I like the color scheme. It all looks nice together, and the bright red Bushwhacker bag is not going to go with my color scheme, so I'm going to have to go with black, which, as everybody knows, I don't like black on bikes. I want to be seen. So this is the only thing that has kind of I don't like. Everything else is great. My new Cloud 9 seat is great. I love it. I've been using padded shorts. I love those. I got these nifty fenders, and I put spikes in them. And yeah, some of them broke out. I got in a crash, and some of them broke out, and I don't care because it looks like I got in a bike fight. So that's just fine by me. I put on a bunch of cool little stickers, and they're lasting pretty good. Some of them are starting to come off a little bit. I think where they get, this doesn't even get a lot of contact right there. I don't know why that's coming off, but I like my little stickers. And all in all, it's a good little bike. Mirror's good. I like the controls. I like the way the controls are set up. I like the various speeds. I use 5 through 9. I don't use those lower ones too much. It seems to shift okay when my chainring's not all goofy. Throttle works great. I got no complaints except for this thing. And it's kind of neat. I kind of like it. I just wish it wasn't crammed underneath my seat. I had actually raised my seat up just so I could use it. My tiptoes are just hitting the ground. It's not engineered very well. I don't like it. That's it. I think that's it. Again, if you have any questions, stick a Hybrid down in the thing, and then like and subscribe and tell me about your mother. Otherwise, stay safe, be seen, have fun. Right? Say, wow, I forgot my own catchphrase. Jesus, Pete, I gotta stop doing the drugs. Ride safe, be seen, have fun.